Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. There is a story that needs to be looked at very imperatively because if we don't, then Kenya is going to suffer the consequences of trying to overlook it. In the past few days, it was reported that the US sanctioned 16 companies ostensibly for financing the Al-Shabab terrorist group. Among the 15 companies, one of them was a Kenyan transport company, the Crown Bus Services. It was among the companies that was sanctioned by the USA. US sanctions Kenya Bus Company, 15 others over Al-Shabab financing. The US Department of Treasury has imposed sanctions on 16 companies and individuals for laundering money for the Al-Shabab militant group. The sanctioned companies include Kenya-based transport company Crown Bus, which the US says has supported Al-Shabab logistical operations. So they're saying that Crown has supported Al-Shabab's logistical operations. Now, the US indicated that this is a network that has been making money to support the terrorist group, the outlawed terrorist group. And the report indicated that Al-Shabab makes about 100 million US dollars in a year. And these companies, it's a network, an expansive network spanning from the Horn of Africa, United Arab Emirates and Cyprus. And these companies are wealthy and they are involved in money laundering. Al-Shabab has always used kind of money laundering to sustain themselves. That is what the report says. Now, the reason why I'm saying that we need to relook at this very fast is we have a government that is headed by William Samoei Ruto. Now, this is not the first time that we have problems with the Al-Shabab and Al-Qaeda terrorist group. Some years back, they became so much ferocious in our country and they bombed our hotels and schools. After it became clear that their activities was going to divide the country between the Christians and the Muslims, some of their leaders converged, invited press, and it was a press conference that was led by Du.ale. Du.ale himself told us that they know that most of the Al-Shabab individuals come from the Somali community. And they said that they were aware of these individuals and they were searching for them and they were going to gazette and tell us who they are. Back then, Du.ale, I think, was just a member of parliament. Listen to Du.ale.
To combat the threat of terrorism in the country.
We recognize the reality of collaborators amongst our communities, and we will, with immediate effect, commence to identify them, to document them, and to expose all the members, the financiers, and sympathizers of Al-Shabab within the next 1 month.
But why now? Why did it have to take the murder of 147 people in Garissa for the northern Kenya political leadership to initiate the process of identifying suspected Al-Shabab militants, those bankrolling them, as well as their collaborators?
Now, more than 10 years down the line, Du.ale has risen to the ranks and he is now the cabinet secretary for defense. Remember, as a member of parliament, he told us, promised that they were going to investigate and tell us this member, smoke them out from their community. So it is not something that is being put there maybe out of malice. They themselves accepted. But there's one thing that I wanted you to understand. If Du.ale himself agreed and told Kenyans that the Al-Shabab members come from the Somali community. Today, he is the Minister for Defense. Not only that, the members of the Somali community are entrenched in the government and they hold key positions that touch on intelligence that should tell us who these individuals are. The head of NIS is Nordin Haji. That is a member of I think, Somali community, if I'm not wrong. And then we have the head of military intelligence, Abdi Kadir. So military intelligence, a Somali community. Aden Du.ale, defense, Minister of Defense, a Somali community. And then National Intelligence Services, we have Nordin Agi. So these people are at strategic positions. And I remember when they were elevated, people started complaining because of the statement from Aden Du.ale that if Al-Shabab mainly come from this, why have they been given such lucrative positions? And some people said that this is going to be very injurious to the country. But others felt that if they are placed in such positions, then they will be helping with information because these are their brothers and sisters and they have confessed that they know them. But what is worrying is the fact that despite them being in those positions, it took the intervention of the US to flag off these people. Do we assume that maybe it was a collaboration between these individuals through their quiet investigation that fed the US with the information that led to blacklisting or sanctioning of such group? Because the US is saying that their monies, these people, these individuals, including the Crown Bus Services, if they have money in the USA, including interest, if it is an account or property that is held individually or as a group, they are going to block all their accounts and suspend them. So number one, we would be happy to hear that maybe these three individuals and all the stakeholders worked together, furnished the US government with the information. But if not, then Aden Du.ale must tell us, together with these people, what they are doing to help, because I'm only basing this on the fact that he himself came out, told us that these people come from their community. And of course, I understand that it's not only members of the Somali community. The Al-Shabab has recruited even people from the Kikuyu nation, the Luos and the Luyas and all that. They have been incorporated, they have been indoctrinated to subscribe to some of their ideologies. And I also understand, according to the explanation from the members of the Muslim community, that Al-Shabab is not part of the Muslim faith. This is an outlawed group. So Aden Du.ale must tell us why up to date they have not, given us the names, because then he was just a member of parliament. But as he was today, he is in a position to identify those people. He is in a position to tell us these are the people within us, these are the people who are wreaking havoc and mayhem in the society. And so, we interact with people here and there, and they're worried. Why did it take the US to tell Kenya that these are the people? Are we trusting our intelligence? Can we rely on them? Because I understand it must be a partnership between Kenya and the US and all these other intelligent bodies. But my worry is, if these people are placed in strategic positions, there can only be two things. Either they can cooperate with them or they can expose them. And I want to believe that they are not cooperating with them. I want to believe that through their strategic offices, they will be able to smoke out, because now there is no any excuse. Du.ale could have said then that he didn't have the machinery. He was just a member of parliament. But now He enjoys the support of being one of the most high-ranking cabinet secretaries, and they work together with his brothers, Nordin Haji, who heads the NIS, National Intelligence Service. This is the core of investigation. They understand what is happening in the country, and then head of military intelligence. They also understand before those people come into the country. But you see, Al-Shabab keeps on, disturbing Kenyans in Boni Forest. I don't know what is happening, but people are really worried that something must happen, because what if America did not tell us? What if USA did not come up and sanction the Crown Company? I don't know whether we still say that Crown Company is innocent until proven guilty. But this is worrying, and it must be looked at very imperatively, because when it comes to the lives of people, you understand, by the time Du.ale was talking there, the Al-Shabab had killed 147 students in one of the universities in Northeastern. We don't want such a thing to happen, and the government needs to rise up to ensure that once they have been given, this might be just a tip of an iceberg, but our intelligence service, all the stakeholders must come together to avert any possible terrorist threat. That's why I'm saying that Du.ale must give us the names, because he is in a position to do so.